Well, hey now and good morning, everybody. It's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM and 103 GBF. Here with my tag team partner in podcasting, the style and profile and kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, jet flying, son of a gun, Mr. Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
I'm feeling like the Miz wearing my wife's sunglasses. How about that? Looking good.
Yeah, looking like $1 million, man. How you doing?
Feeling like 250, maybe 225.
You were complaining a little bit yesterday about not feeling so well. Is that still kind of what's happening here?
We're going downhill. We're going downhill in a hurry, man. But at least I know that I'm better off sick in State College than healthy in Philadelphia today, because today's the parade, and that place is going to be a madhouse.
Yes, every single friend I have on social media from Philadelphia is at this parade.
Dude, the one guy that you're friends with that I met before, Kevin, that's sometimes on the Post to Post show, I'm friends with him on Facebook, and I saw he was getting on the 4:45 a.m. train out of Doylestown into Philly. 4:45 a.m., and there was a line of people. Unbelievable.
Yeah. We are really happy that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. We are really happy.
Here's a something to keep an eye on tonight. It's almost going to be like a hidden Easter egg if you're hardcore. Try to find the Flyers game. The Flyers are on tonight. The puck drops at 7. This is why this is important, because Center City is going to be filled with people drinking for free. All the bars on the parade route are giving free beer during the parade.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, a lot of them are doing these free beer promotions. You buy the cover to sit in the bar to watch the parade, and then you get to drink for free. They're all going to stumble somewhere, and a lot of them are going to stumble to a hockey game. And I think that's going to be the rowdiest Flyers game of the season.
It's just such a great time to be an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm happy for you, bud.
Yeah, we don't have as many rings as you Steelers fans do, but when we get one, we're excited.
I mean, yeah, you guys, it definitely didn't go unappreciated. You can tell everybody was out of their minds.
By the way, I want to let Steve know, I've been tinkering with the settings. I really want the alert to go out that sorry about that, that the show has started. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's not sending out an alert the way KISS is used to.
Yeah, because KISS used to. Do we not have it? I can't see if there are people watching live. You can. Do we have anyone on there yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got some viewers, but
okay.
I want to make it as easy as we can for these guys to jump in. And, I mean, I don't know if it's people's settings on their phone to receive it or if it's something that I have to do on my end, but everything that seems like it needs to be checked on my end through all the settings, I was tinkering with it all morning. I couldn't find anything that looked like it was denying it. Oh, great news, Steve. Thank you. Steve got the alert today.
Perfect. Here we go.
Awesome. That makes me happy.
Baby stepping with the new system. That's good.
So I thought we'd have a fun conversation today. I'm going to be honest. I've got a few like in the back of my mind, but I did get this inspiration while watching a 4-disc DVD set that I actually finished this weekend. I polished it off. It was like 12 hours long. The best matches of the 2000s, which covers the first decade of the 2000s. And like I said, the first 2 discs, the first half was like right out of matches I've always thought were among the best ever.
Top notch.
Triple H and Cactus Jack, Royal Rumble 2000. Triple H and Steve Austin, 3 Layers of Hell. They had Rock versus Austin from WrestleMania 17. Not the best match from that show, although if you're factoring out Benoit stuff, it's probably going to, your list is going to change up a little bit.
Right. They're not going to put in a Benoit match, but there were some really great Benoit matches.
There were, they did put, let's see, Angle and Michaels was in there. Triple H, I'm sorry, The Rock versus Hogan, one of my favorite, my single favorite live memory of ever being at a show was that match. It was so fun. But things kind of fell apart, I feel like, towards that 3rd and 4th disc. And I've been honest about this before. I feel like my least favorite time of wrestling, it's got to be like 06 through like 09, 2010-ish. I just feel like there was so little going on. And when we got into that era, You know,
I lucked out because I missed that whole era.
You made a smart choice. That's because I left State College, I feel like.
Well, you left State College. There were 2 times where I fell out with wrestling, and one of them you brought me back. It was very late 2001, early 2002 when my dad died. It wasn't a conscious decision. I just had so much going on with starting radio, trying to finish college, and in under 8 years. And my dad passed away, so like I just stopped watching wrestling. And then you showed up in my life when we started watching it again. That's when you started giving me some of the main events, the stuff that I'd missed in that window, the Cactus Jack and Triple H's and things like that. That's when we started watching it again. And then when you left and Allie was born, I fell out again. So I missed the whole like Miz being world champion. I didn't see any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just like, I don't think that Edge was a bad champion. In fact, I think Edge was a good champion. I think he, especially at the time, made a lot of sense to be champion. But,
although I did watch some of it because I do remember the Rated R Superstar. I remember that.
Whenever Edge was champion, it was never a good time in wrestling, as in general. So the match that I'm going to get things started with, the one that I'm like, oh God, this again. It's just like, I'm like, God, again, I'm watching this match again. Because I don't love this match the way everybody else does.
Okay.
Here's the match I'm talking about. I'll praise it and then I'll criticize it.
Okay.
The match that got this whole idea for this episode started for me. WrestleMania 25. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. This match.
People love that match.
People do love this match. And this may be The Undertaker's best match, maybe. Here's my complaint about this match. It's a very long match, and I get it. I get that it's a different match for The Undertaker. They've had many competitions before. This one was kind of like maybe the climax. I don't even know what you want to put. This wasn't even the retirement match. It was just, can Mr. WrestleMania conquer the streak? My problem with this match is after watching it live, and live, the match was great. Live, the match was really good. There's so many false finishes. You kind of get the tinge of an idea that Shawn might end the streak. But once you know that he doesn't, the match is slow. It goes on and on. It's a false finish fest. So it's just like you don't care about any tombstone or super kick that you see because you see like 30 of them.
The rewatch factor is not there.
And that the same goes to any Royal Rumble. I love watching a Royal Rumble live. If you know who's going to win, if you don't watch a match live, but you know that Shinsuke Nakamura won the Rumble last week, it's not going to be good watching it knowing that. It
takes out the drama. You know who's coming out next. You know all that stuff.
So some matches I feel like are only good live, and it was fantastic live. After that, I never wanted to see it again. It's on like every compilation disc you can find.
Do you mind if I give one that you may disagree with it? I don't know, but it's the same way for me. I remember watching it live and loving it, but I was also a kid at the time, and so like I was full bore into it. But people talk about this as such a huge thing and such a great match and such an awesome time, and yes, it's an epic moment, but it was a 12-minute slog of boring. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania was not great. That was not a good match.
Well, you're not wrong in like a hold for hold kind of way, but
it was a bad match. But with the body slam at the end, I get it.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's just like, I feel like that's almost sacrilege to say that.
I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's overrated because it's considered like one of the best matches when it's really just one of the best moments. The same with Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. That was a terrible match.
Well, but people don't. Okay, see, those aren't matches that people say are like, like Flair Steamboat. I'm sorry, Steamboat and Macho Man. At that, everyone says that's like one of the best matches of all time.
You don't agree, do you? You think it's sloppy?
No, I do agree.
Okay.
I don't think that match is sloppy. My only complaint was, that it was written out, but honestly, I don't really care because it came off so well and they didn't have notes in front of them. So who gives a crap?
It's funny. I gave you the one that you consider sacrilege, and that's not even the one that I thought you were going to yell at me for being sacrilegious. Like, I've got another one coming that I think you and everybody else is going to yell at me, but I don't.
All right, what is it? Who's going to yell at you?
I think you're gonna. I think everybody's gonna. I wasn't blown away with it when I saw it live. I appreciate it.
This is what this show's about, man. To let it off your chest. Let everyone know you didn't like whatever match you're about to piss me off with.
Every time I hear about this, I keep my mouth shut because I'm just like, I know I'm the only one here. I'm on an island.
I'm dying.
I'm the only person that like, and everyone's like, this is great. How great is this? And I'm just like, oh, sure. It's great. I did not like Shawn Michaels' Razor Ramon ladder match.
What?
I think it's overrated.
You are lying.
I am not. I'm not. I don't get it. I understand when I say there are so many better ladder matches. You'll say, yeah, but that's the first one. I don't care. I remember watching it live and thinking, like, it's good, but it didn't. I don't know. It's not one of my favorite matches ever.
With everything I know about you and what wrestling was like at that time, I almost think that you're lying.
I'm not lying. But I really debated even mentioning it today because I know I'm going to get slaughtered, but it's my opinion.
I mean, if you honestly feel that way, that was a great revelation.
I've been keeping it secret. I've been living a lie.
I just can't believe this.
I've been living a lie. But I figure
Sure.
If you can come out and admit that you actually don't like that Bret Hart Iron Man match, I can admit to this.
We'll get to the Iron Man match. You're the kind of guy, if a table breaks, you lose your mind. That level of brutality in 1993 or 94 or whenever the thing was 94, wrestling that was extremely hardcore for WWF at the time. And you're telling me you didn't like that match? That
was ECW stuff as far as WWE was concerned. Yes, I know that, and I didn't like it, and I don't.
Is a revelation.
I don't think it's a Shawn Michaels issue. I mean, a lot of his matches I didn't like as much as everybody else, but one of my favorite matches of all time was him, Kurt Angle, at WrestleMania 21. So, I mean, he's a good performer.
That match is so good. I just can't. That's one of my favorite matches of all time. I'm shocked.
The ladder match.
Yeah, the first one. Listen, if you were to show someone today that for the first time, someone who's seen the TLCs and the Hardys and the Dudleys and,
Money
in the Banks. Yeah, I can get why one of those people wouldn't get it. Someone who wasn't familiar with the build up to that story, those two wrestlers. But if you're telling me you watched it in 1994 and you think it's overrated, I mean, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. That's your opinion, but man, nothing will floor me more than that.
I don't know why. I just don't. I don't love it. Like that and Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. And I'm sitting here like, boy, am I even a wrestling fan? Like, what's wrong with me?
I feel like with Hogan, the Hogan matches you mentioned, Ultimate Warrior and the Andre the Giant, I almost feel like that's not the approach I'm taking to this, because those matches did what they were supposed to do. They don't get heralded as being like mat classics. They get heralded as being historic.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've never liked Hulk Hogan. Even as a child, I didn't root for Hulk Hogan.
Sure. So you mentioned the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12, and that was what I felt like was going to be my surprise one, because that was my number one and number two favorite wrestlers in the world. It wasn't until somewhat recently that I decided Kurt Angle upseated Shawn Michaels and Shawn became number three. But you would think, and especially in 1996, in the prime of their careers, that putting them together for an hour would be the stuff that my dreams were made of.
I think it suffered from writing more than anything. The match just wasn't put together in an exciting way because they did the tie with the 5-minute overtime. I think that's what you dislike about it, right?
No, the overtime is the best 3 minutes of the stupid match. The whole match is so slow. It's so like, it's there are many. I enjoy Iron Man matches. I'm going to give you several examples of good Iron Man matches. At in 2000, it was in Louisville. It was Judgment Day 2000. Rock and Triple H had an Iron Man match that was awesome. SmackDown, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar had an Iron Man match that was awesome. I think Rock and Triple H had like 9 falls. I think like Brock and Angle had like 11 falls. That's the thing. You can be like, it just needed more. It needed some falls. Like, this is the first time we could have had like a scoreboard with points on it. And instead we've got a scoreboard with no points on it.
None.
Oh, I think that match is so, I mean, it's not like bad. It's just like, if that would have been a 20-minute match, it could have been probably fantastic.
Can you think of a Shawn Michaels Bret Hart match that you would rate as better? Because, I mean, they wrestled a couple more times, but the Montreal Screwjob wasn't a good match because the way it ended, it was terrible, you know. They never really had their Matt Classic that those two should have had, did they?
They could have had better. I mean, there's stuff from like, you know, the early 90s. Like, there's an old ass ladder match that was never televised. It's on like some of their home videos. That was okay. And there's Survivor Series, I think 92, where Shawn wrestles Brett. That match might even be better from 92, to be honest with you. Everyone loves the Iron Man match for being the first of its kind. And I mean, it was important and it was a big angle involving my 2 favorite wrestlers, but man, I don't like to watch that match. And I
feel like that's the same thing almost the exact same thing I can say about that ladder match. It's like, for the time, it was new. It was fresh. Everybody was like, wow, it's heralded as being great wrestlers. It's not fun to watch.
That match is 20 minutes of brilliance.
It's not. It's a fast forward. I'd rather watch a Charlotte Flair match.
Wow.
I think that I actually do believe in my heart that the Sasha Banks Charlotte Flair Falls Count Anywhere Raw match is better than that ladder match.
I'd never want to kick you out of the room so badly.
You said you weren't going to judge me. True love is judgment free. And you told me you weren't going to judge me.
I did?
Well, I thought you said that.
No, well, I mean, this is the kind of revelation I wanted. Like, you know, yours is better than mine. I mean, I've revealed that I don't like the Iron Man match before. Yes. And there's other people that are like that. But man, I can't believe the ladder match is even coming up. I'm just shocked by this. Put it out there. Use it as a screenshot. That's the match. Overrated. 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 Wow. Let's keep going. Yeah. One match that this isn't going to surprise anybody. I mean, coming off the surprises, one that probably won't surprise anyone. You and I both feel the same way about Zayn and Nakamura from Nakamura's debut in NXT, almost 2 years ago? It needs to be said, and I'm echoing in my headphones. Am I echoing on your side now all of a sudden? You sound fine to me. I didn't change anything, but all of a sudden in my headphones I'm echoing. Okay. I just want to double check. No, you're good. I mean, get it taken care of. Steve, if anything went wrong, let me know, please. Or anyone, if anyone can. I heard no change. Okay. I still hear it in my headphones. I don't know why. I'm just going to do that. We're not saying it's a bad match. It's a good match. It's just not a 5-star match. It's not the greatest match. It was a spot fest. It was just a spot fest. I didn't even think it was a great match. I would say it was a good match. It was a good match. It was a good match, but it wasn't a great match. I feel the same way about those like Omega Okada matches. They're good matches, but I don't have anything invested in any of them. And it's so fluid. Nobody's selling anything. It's almost like a dance routine than a fight. And that's not what I want. If it makes you feel any better, Steve says we sound fine. Okay, good. That does make me feel better. So, yeah, it was, if I could describe that match in one word, The word that jumps out at me is disjointed. It's like they've got these spots that they want to do, and then they would do them, and then they would stop. And then they would think of another spot, execute it. It was just broken. It was like chapter 1, this spot. All right. Chapter 2, this spot. I don't know. It didn't click with me the way it did. And I still really want, and I'm hoping it will be at this year's WrestleMania. And I feel like I've gotten it from Sami Zayn before. I haven't gotten that match from Nakamura yet that everyone is telling me is, I mean, just going back years and years. He was like Wrestler of the Year in like 2005 and like The Observer and stuff like that. Like, what am I missing? I like his entrance. I like his personality, his flamboyance. Where's the match?
You got to give me the match at some point. Now, his match, did he have a match with Bobby Roode? Am I thinking, is that correct?
He has.
I think that was good. I think that was a good match. I don't know. I haven't seen the match yet. And it doesn't matter that it's on NXT. I haven't seen the match from Finn Balor on the main roster, but I did see it at that one special where like the Beast in the East or whatever, when he and Kevin Owens wrestled. That was
Boy, you know what?
match.
That might be his best main roster match. Oh wait, but he was still technically NXT then.
He was at NXT. Owens was
main roster.
He was main roster. He was floating because Owens lost the championship to Balor on that.
You're right. Well, here's another thing. You know, with NXT, if a 4-star match happens at NXT, everyone calls it a 5-star match. And I thought that so Dave Meltzer gave the Andrade Cien Almas match that at the most recent takeover, he gave that 5 stars. And that match was great. I'd maybe go like 4.5-ish, but that wasn't a 5-star to me.
We call that the Tokyo Dome effect.
I feel like even now I might want to rewatch these matches before I commit to this. But I think that we talked about this too. I thought the Aleister Black match with Adam Cole was even better than the Cien Almas match.
I thought so too. We both agreed on what match of the night was. They were both great. Conversely, where they're adding a star because it's an NXT, I think that a lot of times they take away at least half a star because it was on the main roster.
I don't disagree with that. You're not necessarily wrong about that. But I think like part of that is like there's so much main roster because like if you're looking main roster, my God, you got 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown. We know the menu. Like with NXT, you get an hour a week. You know, that's, I mean, on a week where they have their takeover specials, you get as much as one Raw.
Right. And you get 4, I think maybe 5 takeover specials a year now.
Yeah, they're upping it to 5, I think. Which is fine with me.
What are they going to put it before? Because it's before
the
biggies, but what's the 5th one they're going to put it before?
You got Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and the 5th will be Money in the Bank.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, yeah, that's pretty exciting there. So, I don't know that this match has the overrated effect yet because it's so new, but here's another one that I was a little upset when I watched. And again, this was a really good match, but everyone came up to me and was like, dude, if you watch nothing else, you got to at least watch the War Games match from NXT War Games.
No, I love that match.
I know you did. And it was good.
I might have been one of the ones that told you to watch it. I loved
did.
It.
Gavin did. The Wrestling Observer gave it like 4 3/4 stars.
Sure.
Like these are all people I respect when it comes to stuff. And I remember everyone on the post show praising it. Man, I don't know what it was. I thought that 1/3 of the match, the Undisputed Era, I find them to be like really boring. We mentioned that before. I got less flack from that than I thought that I would. And, you know, I didn't really love them. So a lot of stuff got really set up. I don't want to see a spot coming down the street in a cab. I thought that Psychology got disregarded at several points. Really talented workers in there, but I just did not love the outcome of that match. I mean, maybe 4 stars, but I can't give it more than that. I
loved it, and it came in right at the end there. It almost snuck in as a match of the year candidate for me. I really, really, really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't love was they called it War Games and they didn't have a roof on the cage.
And there's 3 teams of 3. Like, I don't want 3 teams of 3. I want 2 teams of 4. And yeah, give me a roof.
Give me a roof and put Dusty Rhodes in there. Dig them up and throw them in.
But forget that part. The wrestlers can't fix that part. It was just other stuff. I don't know. And plus, I'm assuming because everyone loved it so much is maybe part of why I consider it overrated. But I do. I
remember what your main complaint was after that match. There was one psychological misstep.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Do you want to say it?
Yeah. If you escape the cage, your team is forfeited. And someone was getting ready to leave the cage and they stopped them. Why would you do that? Let them forfeit.
Yeah, the guy's at the top of the cage and people are running up there trying to yank him back in.
Try to knock him out. Try to push him out.
If you're going up to help him get out. Like, why are we throwing it out the window, man? Come on. Know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Another match, like some of the matches on there are also kind of puzzling to me. Like, I don't know, watching it back, it was good, but like they had Triple H and Batista in a Hell in a Cell. I don't remember that being anything spectacular. Like, not best.
I can't think of a Batista match that was something to write home about. Again, Batista is one of those superstars that had moments and had story and it was cool. And it was cooler for us because we were hanging out with him. But he wasn't a guy giving you a match of the night.
No. Mm-mm.
You know, and I think the same could be said for a lot of guys that get credit for, you know, best matches. And then there are guys like Roman Reigns and John Cena that don't get enough credit for the good matches that they do put on.
I agree with that. Like all the CM Punk stuff, I think was valid. Like he's had like in I want to say it was like maybe 11 and 12 or really the 2 or 3 years prior to his walking out. My God, I think his stuff was not underrated or overrated. That stuff was every time that people started typing about CM Punk, I was right there with them. I agreed. Daniel Bryan, same thing. His matches always wound up being awesome. And yeah, Punk and Reigns and Cena, like at least for all the crap I give Reigns, he's able to have good matches.
He has great matches. I just don't like one of his finishers. He has 3 finishers. He has the Superman punch, the spear, and his third finisher is kicking out of people's finishers. I'd like, I wish he could get rid of that. Other than that, I'm good.
I'm trying to think if there's any other big ones. Like all the Flair Steamboat matches, I love. You know, anytime.
What about Flair and Sting? I don't think they put on the classics that everyone says they did. Their story was amazing, but Flair and Sting, I don't know. For me.
You know, for me, I'll give you a better example because I was not the WCW guy up until like the NWO started. So a lot of that stuff does miss with me. That Sting and Flair hour-long match, if I could describe that in a word, it'd be long. But the Flair and Steamboat hour-long match, I adore. The 2 out of 3 falls match, that's as good. That match is top 20 of all time to me. But I've never seen a Flair and Rhodes match or a Dusty Rhodes match in general that I would say is very good.
You think that Dusty Rhodes, as a performer, not speaking of him as a man or an agent or anything like that, but as a performer, you've always thought that he's overrated.
I'd say he's my least favorite wrestler. And with how much love he gets, like he's my number 1 least favorite. So yes, I think he's the most overrated wrestler.
And sometimes you go back to a certain era and it's just not gonna do it for me. You know, like I'm not seeking out Bruno Sammartino matches, you know, so like that's not even gonna count for me. But sometimes you'll listen to Bruce Pritchard and he'll be like, you gotta watch this Rock and Roll Express and the Freebirds match. You have to watch this match. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh, if I put myself in this time period, maybe it was good, but I don't like this match.
Well, you know how I feel about the Freebirds. Doot.
Well, and you know how I feel about the Rock and Roll Express.
I hate.
They look like guys that I could beat in a fight. All right, I shouldn't be allowed to think that I could beat you in a fight if you're going to be the Rock and Roll Express.
Jim Cornette at the Hall of Fame said that the Rock and Roll Express got more punani on the way to the ring than he got all year long. He's I feel out of place commenting on the quality of Rock and Roll Express matches because I'm not exposed to enough of them. I will be, but at this point in time, everything I know about them from everyone I respect is that they're tag team specialists, the top of the heap. So I don't want to condemn them.
Right.
The Freebirds can go after themselves.
You hate the doot.
Yep. We invented music when we started wrestling down in Houston with the Bon Eric boys.
Now at least I know you have legitimate beef. I forgot that when we were backstage, he was giving you crap.
My beef was long. That's just the Freebird. Like, well, if you know me and you know how I feel, like Cornish knew this kind of stuff really well. He would he would know before even asking me what I thought of some guys, because Southern, like if someone dressed up in a Confederate flag, that's a big miss with me. If they embrace Southern heritage, big miss with me. If you wore cowboy boots or a cowboy hat, not going to happen with me.
Sorry, Cowboy Bob Orton, you're out.
It's just like, and Cowboy Bob didn't even do as much of a cowboy. Like Dusty Rhodes had a more of a cowboy gimmick than.
Now, what about JBL coming to the ring as like the millionaire Texan?
No, did not like it.
We were supposed to hate him as a heel, but did you appreciate it, or did you just not like it at all?
He was doing okay work, and I mean, he got Cena over, and he had heat, like big time, but I mean, that's just not. It's not a gimmick that worked for me. It
just doesn't work for you. Put a cowboy hat on him and Rob.
He had double whammy there, because not only did he have a cowboy hat, he had the other thing that I hate. I hate vehicle entrances. Hate with a capital H. I don't care if you come out in a limousine, Del Rio, Eddie Guerrero, Steve Austin on his four-wheeler. I hate Undertaker on his motorcycle.
Someday we'll talk about Biker Taker.
So some stuff that think is over. Go ahead.
But what about Steve Austin on a beer truck?
My headphone came undone. Hold on, bud. All right, one more time.
What about Steve Austin on a beer truck, or Steve Austin on like it's not part of his entrance, but they come out in a vehicle?
Specifically, routine vehicle entrances. Like Eddie Guerrero always came out in the lowrider. That's the problem. Alberto Del Rio, do you think I care about whatever vehicle you're driving in? I do not. I do not.
Well, then we might as well put a cowboy hat on top of that ladder match. Just set a cowboy hat on top of the ladder and drive it to the ring in a white stretch limousine, because that ladder match is my overrated match.
This was the revelation. This was the revelation, man. I want to see what the post-to-post universe thinks about this one.
When we bang on the indies, they've given up trying to convince us, so they kind of let it go. This one's going to catch me heat. Like I feel like I'm going to take some pops for this one.
Like this is the one where I'm just like, you're wrong, but you can have it.
That's how I feel.
All right. I'm glad that we have a few days off of the show, because I need to recoup.
You need to process.
I need to digest everything that just happened. I can't believe, of all things, you said that about that match.
And it's not the medicine talking. I've felt this way for years. I've just been afraid to tell you.
For myself and my tag team partner, Wild Man, Jerry Valeri, my goodness. We will return with another episode on Tuesday right here on Post to Post.
Say goodbye to the bad guy.